Hello, everyone. Jason Hagholm here, and today I am joined by Austin Russell, who on April 28th will be taking on Serhiy Sidey for the BFL Bantamweight Championship. Austin, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you for having me on the show.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time out. And yeah, Austin, let's just get right at it. Like April 28th, a little bit of a week away or so. You're fighting for your first world title at only just 3-0. Like, talk to us about getting the call for the opportunity and just your reaction. Obviously, you got to be excited about it, but just the news you were getting the fight for a title.
Oh man, it's honestly I'm still trying to process it. There are some days where I'm like, oh cool, it's just another fight. And like there are other days where I'm just get very like anxious. I'm like, holy cow, I'm really fighting for a world title. But I really think like I put in like the time and the effort. And I think through my past like wins, like I've showed enough to earn a shot for the title. And now that I got it, I'm not gonna let this opportunity slip away.
How have you been able to, I guess, control the emotions and go to camp and I guess maybe have to up the gear a little bit here?
Well, I always know like eventually like I would be fighting for a title. If I keep training hard, put in the time and the work, I'll eventually get the call. So like this has been like a process in the making, like slowly but surely. So like I've been slowly like preparing for like a title fight while I'm preparing for like the current fights that I'm having to work with.
Well, as you said, Austin, obviously we talked about your 3-0. You had one of the bigger, upsets of the year last year when you took out Andrew Verk in the first round with that guillotine joke. Do you kind of take you're going to be the underdog going to this fight. Do you kind of thrive being in that underdog role?
Yeah, like right now I'm just kind of taking that as my identity, I guess. I'm always a person who's the underdog, always going to the other person's backyard to fights and upset the crowd. So right now, like I'm cool with it.
Even though you're kind of in a way going to be the home favorite representing Western Canada, fighting out in British Columbia, where Siri, the champion from Ontario. And overall, what have you thought of Siri's performances since becoming champion?
Honestly, I've been impressed like every time he stepped in the cage. He's the champion for the reason. When he fought against like Gio and like the way he was able to like counter like that sweep to immediately tap the triangle, it was perfect. The way he was able to negate all these takedowns like left, right, and center was just like honestly like unbelievable. So like I'm really excited to test myself against him because he is the champion for the reason and he's proven that.
Well, I spoke to Siri last week, and Siri was very excited to be fighting you, Austin, because he feels like you can be able to get him kind of out of neutral. He felt he was kind of in cruise control his last time out, and he feels that you have the ability to push the fight and make him kind of work a little bit harder to try to get a victory in this fight. Does that kind of give you a little bit of confidence knowing that the champ's excited to fight you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I feel like with this matchup, like I think we match up pretty well, and I think we're gonna bring out the best out of each other this fight. So like, I'm really excited just as much as he is.
Where do you think you have the advantage over Siri going to this fight?
Honestly, I think like my speed. My speed will be a big factor for this fight. I just don't think he's seen anyone or gone up against anyone with the type of speed and explosiveness that I have that'll catch him off guard. But honestly, wherever the fight goes, like I feel like I can have the advantage in every aspect.
Is this a fight where you kind of maybe want to keep it standing as much as possible, because we've seen Siri's much improved ground game his last two title fights?
I'm okay with it standing. I'm very confident in my striking skills to make it a kickboxing fight if he wants to. But if the takedown is there, I'm also confident in my skills that I will put him on the mat.
Talk to us about getting ready for this fight, like, how training camp's going and what areas are you really working on right now, Austin?
Like the big thing is just the conditioning, just making sure I'm prepared to go for the 5 rounds. And on top of that, I'm making sure like if it's going to be a dog fight, I'm going to be ready for a 5-round war. So like that's just like the major thing like that we're targeting. Like my coaches and I come like a really good game plan, so like I feel when it comes to fight time, I'll be able to implement that really well and hopefully get my hand raised.
Who have you been training with as you gear up for this fight, Austin?
Well, I spent the time. I actually just got back Sunday. I was in Calgary training at Champions Creed with like
Okay.
Chad Ellinger, Keem Dawodu, Noah Ali, those sharks down there,
Yeah.
they really helped me getting prepared for this fight. So I really owe a lot to them in that gym.
Yeah, what do you take from spending time at Champions Creed, which is one of the best gyms in all of Canada, as you said? Obviously, me and Hakeem Dawodu's down there, chatting, and a whole crew of other guys. What do you take from being there for guys that have really reached the next level of the sport representing that gym?
Honestly, it's just the fact that they're there and like I have like the opportunity to like train with them, just kind of like gives me like a little confidence. Like, hey, like they're from Canada, like they've had to put in like their time and their work to make it to the UFC. So like if they're in Calgary, just like province next door, and they're making it to the UFC, that kind of gives me some insight of like, hey, I can probably do it as well. And just seeing like the experience that they have, and like the knowledge, just picking their brains, and like their approach to the game is just very beneficial.
Best piece of advice you got down there at Champions Creed?
Be patient. That's in every fight where it's like a 3-round, 5 rounds, just always be patient. Like if you're patient, you can regulate your emotions, you can control your breathing, and you'll have like full control of your actions. So like that was a big thing I took away from them, was just being patient at all time.
Well, Austin, you spent, obviously you're fighting for the BFL Bantamweight Championship, and 2 of your 3 pro fights have taken place in BFL. How have you, obviously, you're fighting for a title, but how have you enjoyed the experience in BFL, kind of really getting to make your name for yourself on the Canadian scene in that promotion?
It's a great feeling, like I'm glad that BFL has like given me an opportunity to fight for them. It is on Fight Pass, so like the exposure is there. So I'm really thankful that they're giving me the opportunity to fight for them. But like I'm just as cool as that is to get like the exposure, I gotta like stay focused, and just keep on taking everything one fight at a time, because job's not finished.
No, the job isn't finished, obviously, up until you get that strap, and that is coming up very soon. What would it mean for you, Austin, to not only become the champion, because that's obviously the end goal, but representing Saskatchewan? The scene in Saskatchewan, it's very limited, and we know Saskatchewan sports fans are crazy just for how the love and they have for the Rough Riders, and you can be that the MMA version of the Rough Riders going forward.
I've definitely like thought about it once or twice. It's definitely crossed my mind. Honestly, like I'm not really like taking that responsibility, but if someone's gonna put Saskatchewan on the map, I think so far it's me. So like I'm kind of just taking the reins on that, and hopefully, I can put like Saskatchewan on the map, and it can get a little bit more notoriety.
What is the MMA scene out there like in Saskatchewan, Austin?
Oh, it's very scarce. Very scarce. There's probably only one MMA, like legit MMA gym, and that's the gym I train at, Ascendant Martial Arts. But like everywhere else in like Saskatoon, yeah, there's like a few MMA programs there, but like they're not really that active, I should say. But like the rest of there's mostly just like singular sports, jiu-jitsu, karate, taekwondo, very just individual sports.
And if you get the win here on April 28th, because I think a lot of eyes are on Siri to take the next step, maybe get an offer at the Contender Series. Do you think if you get the win, the same thing will happen to you? Maybe a Contender Series contract, or would you like to defend the belt a couple times to keep getting more cage time?
I would absolutely go with like the second option. I definitely don't want to bite off more than I can chew. If I do win the belt, that'd be great. I'd love to defend it a few times, maybe like finish my contract with BFL or extend it, maybe go to the different promotions. Like I really want to like work my way up to get to like the highest levels. I don't want to just stay in BFL, hit the fast run, get the win, and jump to the Contender Series, where it might not end up too well for me.
How many fights do you have left on your BFL contract, Austin?
I believe I have 3 more.
Okay,
yeah, so yeah.
Okay, maybe a new deal gets worked out if you become champion on the 28th.
Well, this like fight with Siri was like an extension, so like a champions clause, like they called it. So like if I do win, I'll have to like fight or extend my contract 2 or 3 more times. So that was the only reason why I still have 3 more fights. But like after that, we'll see if I resign with them or I move on to like another promotion to work my way up.
are you a potential, obviously, becoming champion, you're kind of want to defend the belt as you seem willing to do, but you seem like you would say, as you say, are you eyeing other promotions in Canada or stateside?
Well, yeah, other promotions in Canada or like stateside, absolutely. Like maybe like LFA or, other like promotions like that to get like towards like the UFC. Right now I'm seeing like BFL as like starting level. I don't want to go here and jump right up to the top. I think there's levels to this game. So I want to go like BFL and all right, what's the next challenge? Okay, let's conquer that mountain. All right, let's keep going up. And eventually when I get to the top, that'll be like the UFC or maybe like ONE FC or who knows where my journey takes me.
Well, you do have a big challenge in front of you, though, on April 28th, looking at Serhiy Sidey. And obviously, you're not looking too far past that opportunity. But we're looking forward to the fight, Austin. And before I let you go, plug yourself out there on social media. Where can people follow you?
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram, Ronan_6. It is the number 6, then the letter I, and then X. You can follow me on Instagram there, or just on Facebook, Austin Russell. Pretty easy. But yeah, those are my two main social media handles. Give me a shout out, give me a follow.
All right, Austin. Well, thank you for the time, and we look forward to seeing your fight against Serhiy Sidey for the BFL Bantamweight Championship on April 28th. Austin, thanks for the time, and best of luck in the fight.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to put on a show for you guys.